So there are plenty of stocks in focus this morning, and we kick it off with Bajaj Auto, which could start off in the green on the back of the massive buyback that they announced yesterday. They told us about it last week as well, but yesterday the pricing, the size was out, and the buyback will be up to 4,000 crore rupees at 10,000 rupees a share via the tender route. It's a big premium to the current market price. It's at a 43% premium to the last closing price, and this buyback will be 1.4% of the equity shares of the company via the tender route. If you assume even a 30% profitability for the company this year, the overall dividend plus buyback that the company will give is to the tune of 8,400 crores. This is well above the 6,500 crores they did last time around. Just to give you the details, last time in July of 2022, they purchased shares worth 2,500 crores, and in FY22, the dividend plus buyback was 6,500 crores. But we were expecting this, although the quantum of such a big buyback was not expected. But remember, the cash on books has gone up to almost 20,000 crores for the company. They said that over and above 15,000 crores, whatever cash they make, 70% of that will be returned to shareholders. So they're staying true to their promise and giving back to shareholders. Promoters of the company will also be participating in this buyback. Currently, the promoters hold 55% stake. The only thing is that the stock has rallied in anticipation of the buyback. So, maybe some amount of the juice is out. But we will be having the management of Bajaj Auto to talk about the buyback in a short while from now as well.
Okay, all right. So we'll stay tuned for that. But Sonia, it's a busy morning. Tata Motors as well. They declared numbers. How are they?
Oh, it was a really good set of numbers coming in from Tata Motors. No complaints at all. And perhaps that's the reason why the stock has been doing very well too. The wholesales in Q3 were very strong from JLR. This is the highest wholesales that we've seen in the last 11 quarters. Up 27% year-on-year, up 4% quarter-on-quarter, coming in at little over 1 lakh units. The retail sales were up about 29% as well. They were higher in all regions year-on-year. UK was up 55%, overseas up 49%, China up 28% and Europe up 27%. The company says that the order book continues to reflect strong demand for JLR products. They have 148,000 client orders at the end of the third quarter. This has reduced from 168,000 because of the increased order fulfillment to clients. So now they have higher production and they can fulfill a lot of their orders. And the demand for Range Rover, Sport and Defender remains particularly strong. The only disappointment is this time around they haven't mentioned anything about the free cash flow, which they generally do in their Q3, in their quarterly updates. But this time, nothing of that was mentioned. But be that as it may, good set of numbers coming in. So I'm going with green.
All right, Sonia, thanks for that. So autos in focus there with both Bajaj and Tata Motors. Let's focus on financials now. Bandhan Bank was the big volume-led loser yesterday. Abhishek is standing by with what's happening there, and he'll touch upon what's the news at Fino Payments Bank as well. Abhishek, morning.
Morning, Prashant. So, Bandhan Bank sources tell CNBC-TV18 that there will be no forensic audit by RBI. Now, detailed audit will be taken by CGFMU, which is the Credit Guarantee Fund of Micro Units. So, audit by CGFMU pertains to claim of about 1,200 to 1,300 crore that is being done by Bandhan Bank, which they had also highlighted in the con call last time around. So, audit is required as the claim value is above 1,000 crore. If you have it below 1,000 crore, there is no audit required by CGFMU. However, the amount right now is about 1,200 to 1,300 crore, and that is why you will have an audit over there. This is bank's second claim under CGFMU. Earlier claim funds have been received by them. So detailed audit do follow, as I mentioned. Since the amount is above 1,000 crore, there will be a detailed audit after the sample audit. Remember that the bank has to receive 2,600 crore in totality with respect to the flood issue, Assam exposure that they have, of which 2,200 crore will be from CGFMU alone. Bandhan Bank has not yet responded to CNBC-TV18's query. Fino Payment Bank, RBI has received application for on-time licensing of Small Finance Bank by Fino. So SFB status will help Fino Payment Bank start their banking operation on liability as well as asset side of the balance sheet. Their market reach will become wider and they'll have more funding sources as well. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. So we'll keep an eye out on both those two stocks. Vivek joins us, though, to tell us about some more stocks in the news. Vivek?
Well, good morning. Quite a few stocks on the radar. The first one is Capacit'e Infra. The company has gone ahead and launched a QIP. Now, as per the term sheet, what we understand is that the company is looking to raise up to 200 crore rupees. The base size is 150 crore. The remainder is an upsize option. Now, the indicative issue price is almost a 9% discount to yesterday's closing price at 251.6 rupees a share. Now, the indicative base size dilution is close to 7.8%. If the company chooses to exercise the upsize option, more than 10% of equity dilution will be seen. What is the company raising funds for? Number one is for funding working capital requirements. That is close to 150 crore of the issue. The remainder 50 crore is for general corporate purposes. IRB Infra is the other stock on the radar. The company has gone ahead and reported the December toll collection data coming in quite strong. So December toll collections at 488 crore on a consolidated basis, up almost 26% on a year-on-year basis. The InvIT toll collection too is up 16% on a year-on-year basis. And lastly, GMDC, watch out for this particular stock in trade. Strong news flow coming in over there. The company's Surka lignite mine is the one that is in focus. It has received the environmental nod to go ahead and do a capacity expansion. The capacity expansion approval has come in to increase the capacity from 3 million tons per annum to 5 million tons per annum.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, there are a couple of more updates coming in. There's Metropolis, there's Aurobindo Pharma. Sonal is tracking that for us. Sonal, morning.
Good morning, Sonia. Let me start with Metropolis, where the company says that they saw an early double-digit growth in revenues from their core business, and their core business grew by 12% on a YOY basis. Majority of it was led by volumes. So they said the volume growth this time around was 9%. Their B2C revenues grew by 14% on a YOY basis. Their gross debt absolutely closer to the nil mark, around 13 crore rupees. However, they say that margins are slightly lower on a YOY basis, so we'll track that closely. Premium wellness and specialized segments are the fastest growing segment in Q3 of FY24 for Metropolis. So expect that stock to be in the green. Aurobindo Pharma is in focus because their Telangana unit has received establishment inspection report from the US FDA, and they have classified this particular unit as voluntary action indicated, which means that there's no further regulatory action which is required for this particular unit. So there's some relief coming in for Aurobindo as well.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Sonal. Well, Manisha as well joins us to tell us about crude, which slipped overnight. Manisha, morning.
Morning, and thank you for that. Well, yes, we saw the crude oil prices fall by nearly 4 to 5% for both these varieties. And with this decline, the crude oil prices now are trading at around 6-month lows. Couple of factors that are weighing onto the markets. One is that with the weakness in demand, especially coming in from China and rest of Asia, the Saudi Arab has now cut official price to Asia by $2 to $1.50, which is the lowest in 27 months. Also, there is rise in output from OPEC, which was supposed to actually see a cut. So for the month of December, they have increased output by 70,000 barrels per day. We also the U.S. output at around record high, so the inventories have been on the higher side, and demand, whether it's from Asia, U.S. or Europe, shows slightly on the weaker side, and that has weighed on the prices. The markets will now watch out for the EIA short-term outlook report that comes in today. The strength in U.S. dollar index also has been putting pressure, and then the street will also watch out for the OPEC meeting that now has been announced for 1st of February for further direction in sense of outlook.
All right, thanks a lot, Manisha, for that. In case you missed out on any of the stocks, here they are. Stocks with positive news flow today: Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, Bandhan Bank, Fino Payments Bank, IRB Infra, GMDC, Metropolis Healthcare and Aurobindo Pharma. While stocks with negative news flow: Capacit'e, Infra and ONGC. Let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, a lot of these stocks will be discussed with our guest, Hemang Jani, for some fundamental stock analysis. We'll also connect with Abhay Baijal of Chambal Fertilizers. The board has approved a buyback offer of up to 700 crores. Stay tuned.